We were talking with Sebastian about our veterans. Let's go back to another big issue facing our veterans, and this involves a bipartisan group of senators now working together, advocating for a wide-scale independent review of the VA for the systematic mismanagement of its claims backlog. And joining us now, co-chairs of the VA Claims Backlog Working Group, Republican Senator Dean Heller of Nevada and Democratic Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania. Good to have you both on.
Senator Heller, we've been talking about the mismanagement at the VA for quite some time. How do we fix it?
Well, the good news is, there's a bipartisan coalition going on here that's been working together for the last couple of years. Bob and I saw this problem and said, hey, we ought to do something about it. The good news is this. The last 2 years, we've cut the backlog in half. And the issue is this. If you're a soldier today or a service member, male or female, and you come back from the Middle East and perhaps you're missing a limb or two, or you've got some psychological problems, which we know occurs, should you have to wait 2 or 3 years in order to get the benefits that you've earned?
Yeah.
And both of us have said, this is outrageous. So 2 years ago, we formed this working group, and Bob and I have had some great success so far. VA's working harder. We've cut the backlog in half, but we got to do that again. It's still not anywhere near what the benefits and what these soldiers deserve.
Yep, Mike Barnacle.
Senator Casey, we just heard Senator Heller, or you're standing right there next to him, talking about the work that you've done over the past 2 years. Dana Priest's pieces in the Washington Post were several years ago. Anyone serving in the military coming back from 2 theaters of war, Afghanistan and Iraq, multiple tours, they're probably listening and saying, what takes so long in the United States Senate to take care of me?
Well, Mike, that's one of the fundamental questions that I think veterans should ask, but also the overarching question both for the Congress and for this administration or any administration is, what are they going to do that's worthy of the sacrifice of that veteran or his or her family? There have been multiple attempts, Mike, over the last 25 years. This claims backlog problem didn't start 5 years ago or 3 years ago. It's more than 20 years. We've made some progress, but we have to demand that the VA measure up just as any organization that serves people must do. One of the things that's the most important about the bill that we have, and it's been great to work with Dean Heller, not just on a bipartisan basis, but in a very substantive way, to focus on a bill which we now have bipartisan support for, to audit the VA, to take a close look at how they deal with these claims, to fix it, and then to do a whole range of things that we've set forth in the bill to make sure that we're reducing substantially the backlog. Some progress made, as Dean said, but we still have a ways to go.
Senator Sam Stein here. Quick question. Technology was supposed to be sort of the great elixir here to this issue. You digitize the records, make things more streamlined. Where do we stand on that type of progress, digitizing the VA records, and is that continuing to be a big hurdle?
Well, it has been. In fact, one of the biggest problems that we have that Senator Casey and I are working with is the fact that the Department of Defense and the VA, 2 separate agencies, don't talk. I mean, they don't have software that measures the information of these veterans coming out and how they're going to get their benefits. So that's one of the reasons. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Senators Dean Heller and Bob Casey, thank you so much. David Ignatius, why has the VA been so screwed up for so long?
It's a bureaucracy that just seems impervious to efforts to manage it. You had a series of people who came in saying, I'm going to fix this, and they don't fix it time after time. I sometimes wonder whether moving our service to veterans more into our mainstream healthcare system doesn't make sense, because off to the side over and over, year after year, it doesn't work.
I always had people ask me, what's the worst department, bureaucracy to work with, and they all expected the IRS. The IRS is the worst, right? I go, no. IRS is pretty easy. You pick them up, you tell them what the problem is, they investigate it, they give you an answer in a day or two. He said that VA is the worst. There's not a close second.
What's ironic, though, is that once these veterans get into the system,
the care is good.
They love the care. It's just getting into the system.
Yes.
All right, up next.